Hello, friends, and welcome back to r/IDontWorkHereLady. And what might be better for awakening after a 44-hour working day than to meet Karen at the grocery store and our first story. Apparently, scrubs mean you're an employee everywhere. This happened just a few weeks ago. I work for a hospital network that recently purchased another failing hospital to add to its collection. Cue General Underbar Grievous.gif. Anyway, we recently had a go live for our systems at this new hospital to replace their IT infrastructure, and it was a disaster. Basically, everything that could go wrong did, including the Citrix tech who was dispatched to help us putting the wrong address into his phone's GPS, getting lost, then getting a flat tire while there. Luckily for my employers, neither I nor 3 other people have lives outside of work, and we stayed on to deal with the issues for 44 hours straight. Union rules give us triple pay after 17 straight hours, which is in addition to any overtime we might pick up in the meantime, so I was content with the arrangement. To set the scene, it's a little before 7 a.m. Monday morning. I've been working for 2 days straight, usually sleeping in 20-minute increments while things loaded. I'm wearing surgical scrubs because after the first day, my clothes started to smell, and I was given scrubs as a change of clothes. I have bags under my eyes the size of golf balls, and while I could shower in the doctor's locker room, I haven't done my hair since Friday morning. I look and sound like death. On my way home, I stopped by a grocery store to pick up some cherry pop and Doritos so I can fall asleep on my couch like the slob I am. I'm in the chip aisle, getting my preferred flavor, when I notice that there are a few bags on the floor. It looks like someone knocked them off the shelf, but whatever. I shamble over and put them back on the shelves, because why not? As I do so, I feel a slight tug at the back of my pants. A small child is there and very politely asks me where the pasta sauce is. I tell him it's in the next aisle over, and he scampers off. Thinking nothing of it, I head over to get my pop. I get there and realize I'm having a hard time reading the labels. I resolve to drink one in the parking lot before driving to see if I can stave off the exhaustion that's currently making me unfit to drive. While I'm standing there, a woman comes up to me. I don't take notice at first because I'm currently struggling getting my eyes to work. It's only after about 30 seconds of me standing there blinking before I realize that she's now facing me and shouting. I turn to her and blink slowly, trying to figure out what's going on. This woman somehow looks even more disheveled than me, wearing a bathrobe, curlers in her hair, and Crocs. My blank stare must have pissed her off even more because she's now red in the face yelling at me. "What the F is wrong with you? Are you R-word or something?" she yelled at me. "I'm sorry," I stammer back, brain now catching up with the situation. I can feel my blood pressure rising. "I said I have a bed frame on layaway. I need carried to my car, and I need you to help me." Well, maybe my brain hasn't caught up enough. While there's a small furniture section in this store, think decorative end tables and bookshelves, I know for a fact they don't sell bed frames. "A bed frame?" I ask slowly. "That's what I said, didn't I? You need to help me find it and carry it to my car." Keep in mind that she's screaming every time she speaks. I'm still very confused, but at least now I'm awake. "I don't think this place sells bed frames," I respond. "Of course you sell effing bed frames. I talked with you on the phone yesterday. You said it'd be available when you opened." "What do you mean, when I open? The store's open 24 hours. There is, however, an art van a few blocks away." "Did you mean to go to art van?" I ask. "Where the F do you think we are?" she yells with such force that a curler falls out. I slowly look at the chips in my hand and the pop on the shelves surrounding us in the meat section at the other end of the aisle. "We're at the grocery store," I say, waving my chips in front of her for emphasis. She swats the bag out of my hands as they fall to the floor. I feel a profound sense of sadness come over me. I was looking forward to those chips, and now they're all broken on the floor. As I'm reeling from the recent loss of a close friend, someone comes up behind me. Apparently, this woman is shouting enough to attract management, who ask what's going on. The woman immediately starts yelling about how I'm being rude and unhelpful to a paying customer and that I'm refusing to help her carry out the bed frame and that she wants me kicked out. Then she starts in on the personal attacks, calling me a prissy B-word who thinks I'm better than everyone just because I'm skinny. The manager looks at her blankly before stating that I don't work here. Of course she doesn't work here. She works at the hospital. She's wearing scrubs, the lady yells. So why would she help you, the manager starts to say. Because I have a bad back and need someone to carry things for me, the crazy lady yells. The manager turns to me and tells me that I can leave and that he will handle this, and that if I would like, I can go to customer service and hang out until he's done, and then we can talk. I grab my pop and go to reach for my chips, but he tells me to leave them and he'll pick them up. So I head back over to the chip aisle, get myself another bag, then head over to the customer service counter to hang out. The entire time, I can hear the shouts of the angry woman throughout the entire store. As I walk to the counter, I see the boy from earlier leaving with his dad, pasta sauce in hand. A while later, the manager meets up with me. The lady has stormed out, and he explains that she'd called Art Van for a bed frame and decided that she would come in early to pick it up. However, since Art Van didn't open until 10 a.m., she wandered around until she found a place that was open and went in there looking for help. She'd apparently seen me pick up the chips and direct the child and decided that since I was dressed like a nurse and helping other people, that was now my job to help her too. He eventually had talked her down, but only after threatening to call the cops to have her escorted out. I ended up getting a $50 gift card for the store as an apology. In addition, he let me just walk out with my food. All in all, a much better way to wake me up for the drive home than just caffeine. So, crazy woman even knew from the get-go that you didn't work there, but still insisted that you needed to help her. Good Lord, some people really believe they are the center of the universe. And our next story. Sir, we're going to have to ask you to stop recommending movies to customers. So, this happened back when I was in college. It was a simpler time, where you had to go to a strip mall and interact with humans to rent a movie, not just grab one from the machine at Walgreens. At this point, I lived in a small college town in the middle of nowhere with a single video store. We'll call it Blue Buster. I happened to work at an electronics retailer with an identical color scheme in a city about 30 minutes away, but I would stop at Blue Buster to get movies or games. They had a $20 a month all-you-could-rent two at a time deal back then. This means that every night when I got done dealing with the poorly behaved customers from a town full of rednecks, a-holes, and Paul effing Ryan, he was a jerk when shopping too, I would stop at the Blue Buster and get my movies for the night. It seems like every night customers would assume that I worked at the store and had asked questions. I had worked at a competitor for a couple of years, so I was more than willing to help if they were nice. They weren't always nice, though. That night, I was in a hurry, and I was kind of PO'd due to some management bullcrap at my store. My boss wanted me to write his business plan for him off the clock to show him I really deserved my supervisor position, which I didn't do, but still kept my job. So I wasn't really in a good place to deal with belligerent customers. As I'm looking at the new releases, and a trophy wife turned beanbag-shaped soccer mom huffs her way up to me and starts demanding that I find and grab movies that her daughter may like. I look, and her daughters were early teens at the oldest, and looked to be pretty into that whole teen culture or whatever. So I tried to decline politely, but I was interrupted by her shrill shouting for me to do my job. Well, I tried to do it in the nicest way. So I apologize for my lack of zest and inquire if her daughter enjoys Dawson's Creek. Turns out she does. She loves James Van Der Beek. What a serendipitous coincidence, I think, as I hand the lady a copy of The Rules of Attraction, which, if you haven't seen it, is not appropriate for kids. I assured her that it was a continuation of Dawson's Creek storyline in movie form. She rented the film without checking the rating, without listening to the advice of the employee who rung her up. I guess she threw a fit when she realized what the movie was actually about and must have called the store, because the next day when I went into Blue Buster, the manager asked me to refrain from making any more recommendations to customers, or else I wouldn't be allowed to rent there again. From that point on, the employees of the store would intervene when a customer would approach me. No, really, I can't help you. So I work for a company that provides software for dance studios, and today I got a call with problems that someone was having. I'll be me, and the customer will be I for idiot. Me. Hello, sir. How can I help you today? I. Hello. I'm looking to have my credit card removed from your system. Your company keeps calling me to collect payment, but I will never pay you, so just stop trying. I should mention at this point, I do not have access to any of our customers' information because, well, that'd be a pretty big breach. I don't do things like run their cards or process payments or anything like that. I work directly with the software/studio owner. Nothing to do with any of their customers. Me. I'm sorry, sir, but you will need to contact the studio and work this out with them. We're just the software provider. We cannot settle anything when it comes to payments. I. Well, that's too bad because it's your problem now. You made the software so you can fix this. Me. No, really, I can't. I wouldn't even if I had the ability. That would be a major breach on the trust our customers have in our software. I. Well, too bad. It's your problem now and it must be resolved today. Do your job, code monkey. Yep, he actually called me that. I don't even code. After that, they hung up, so basically I just sat there kind of shocked that code monkey was a real insult and didn't know what I should do about this. So I called the studio, mentioned the guy's name, and boy, did they have plenty to say about him. Apparently, he agreed to pay for a full year of his daughter's ballet classes, but whenever they ran his card, it'd get declined because it was over $500 or something. Dumb. Basically, he just kept coming to class and kept saying he would take care of it until he finally had some outburst for something unrelated and they asked him to leave the studio, basically blacklisted him. They're still trying to collect payments for 2 months of lessons that he basically stole and was trying to get me to stop the collection calls. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.